All right, y'all. Okay, I appreciate that. Now let's try this again. Now we about to do it. Thank y'all for hanging out for the virtual social session with the A-Man. That's my DJ moniker when I'm spinning late at night. It's for the insomniacs. Most of y'all be asleep at that time, but some of y'all catch it. It's a real good vibe. I got a few different shows that I do. All right, so we're getting ready to get into this, y'all. Get this part going. We're starting off with the first song off this album. This is called Against the Wall. And like I said, I want everybody to, of course, check it out. But, give me your thoughts about the song, or any questions that you got. This is a Q&A, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Starting off now, Against the Wall. Hey, what's up, Erica? Yeah, that's me playing everything on that one, Eric. So yeah, so what y'all think? What y'all think about that song? Like, I see some of y'all gave me some good comments. I appreciate that. I'm glad y'all liked it. What questions y'all got? Like I said, this is an interactive discussion as well as a listening session. So I want to be able to talk about the music. I think I see some hearts from Michelle Yankara. I can't tell. The hearts are so small, but either way, I love seeing them. It's all good. It's all good. What's up, y'all? Come on in. What's up, Tom? Yeah. So, I appreciate that, man. This was kind of an album that allowed me to peel back some layers and unleash, because I've never been like really like a kind of a musician or producer that kind of works in one lane. I actually would do a lot of stuff that I never released that was different. But when you're kind of setting yourself up as an artist, you really have to have a oh, thank you. I got somebody that joined on that was at the yeah. I appreciate you for following me. You heard me. You got my handle. Welcome to the other side of the coin. Yes, I am a jazz guitar player. I'm also an R&B singer. So it's like two sides of the coin. Thank you for coming on tonight. This is cool. That was Against the Wall, the first track off my new album, River. Thank you. And that was the goal, just to really for this album to show some of my other sides musically and my other sides on the production tip. I'm always pushing to do songs and with integrity as far as creating something that people can enjoy listening to. But that whole thing, man, not trying to be philosophical and all that good stuff like that, but I appreciate that. Anybody got any other questions, any other things about that particular song before we move on to this next one? Like I said, this is an interactive vibe all day. What up, little bro? Good to hear from you, John, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother. I'm glad you joined me and came on tonight. I appreciate that. I know y'all be busy doing so many other different things. I know how it is. I appreciate y'all taking a little time to hang out with your boy. Listen to this album out here working it. You said integrity. What's that? Right. Yeah. It's kind of rare these days, man. But I'm part of that community of us who believe in that. So every song has to matter. I'm never trying to do an album where I'm trying to write 10 hits on one album. That's not really, to me, I don't know if that's necessarily really a good idea. You can't promote 10 songs off one album generally. So you do better like, okay, giving yourself some grace, write some really good songs that have hit potential. You kind of know it. And then some songs, when I'm writing them, I'm like, yo, this is just a good album song, not as a dismissed kind of school of thought, but just you need that. You need good songs to get you to the quote unquote hit songs on an album, So I don't believe in doing throwaways. So every song has some degree of integrity because they are my babies, Any of y'all who are artists and, writers, producers, and creatives understand what that's about and whatever it is that you're creating. All right, then. So I think we don't have any questions anymore about Against the Wall. Yeah, it's definitely about telling the story, brother. That's what you got to do. That's why I call the album River, because love is like a river. That's my statement I've been saying everywhere I go, every interview. Love is like a river. Hey, what's going on? All the way from France. Okay. Thank you for joining me. All right. We got people popping in from all around the world. I love it. Thanks, man. Yeah, Against the Wall is a precautionary tale, bro. I was telling people about this last night. So to give a little bit of backstory of that track, I heard, for those who like to go out looking for fun on the weekend, not looking for anything serious, but a good time, they go out to the spot, whatever, and find somebody else looking for a good time. And then two people looking for a good time have a good time together. There you have it. So neither one of them aren't looking for love. And then this guy who is usually used to being on top, pardon the pun, meets his match and gets with a girl his father forewarned him about, like, you gonna mess around and meet that girl that's gonna have your nose wide open. And you like, yeah, whatever. You know, we young too. He probably a young guy. He, you know, don't think his father don't know what he's talking about. He's an old man, you know what I'm saying? I'm young out here. I know what it is. And you meet that girl, and then she got you wide open, and you can't even find her because it wasn't meant for y'all to be in contact beyond that night. It was just love against the wall in the hall. And now you're out there just messed up. Now she got you all in love and whatnot. You can't even find her. Precautionary tale. Be careful about that love against the wall in the hall. All right, let's get on to this next song. This is called Superstar.
Here is bad. From the gleam in her eyes to the car she drives, you already know that the girl's in full control. The job she works, those heels, those skirts, she wears it well. And I'm not talking about her clothes. Energy that speaks to me and pulls me close. She's someone that I've gotta know. Oh,
you're my superstar girl. I'm hoping you let me in your room. Girl, I want you to know that you are the star of the show. Girl, I give you all my arms. I promise I won't do you no harm. Just let me be the one you love, and when the day is done,
bills are paid. She throws no shade at the other queens, 'cause everybody's doing the thing. She hustles hard, won't drop her guard for nothing less. Nothing less than what she expects. She's been in love, felt the sting of a broken heart when everything fell all apart. Took some time to regroup, now she's back on the move. Ain't no stopping now. I've got to get to that girl somehow.
You're my superstar girl.
You're my superstar.
You let me in your world.
Yes, you are, girl.
Girl, I want you to know that
You're my superstar, girl.
I promise I won't do you no harm. Just let me be the one you love, and when the day is done, you're the one I want. I'm the one you need.
So let love rule and take the lead, baby.
Been searching high, been looking low.
Now that I found you, I can't let you go. You're my superstar. Yeah.
I'm hoping you let me in your world.
Yes, you are, baby.
Girl, I want you to know that
you're my superstar, girl.
I give you all my arms. I promise I won't do you no harm.
No, I won't.
Just let me be the one you love, and when the day is done,
Superstar, girl.
you're my superstar girl. I'm hoping you let me in your world.
Yes, you are, baby.
Girl, I want you to know that you are
Star of the show. Yes, you are. You're my superstar.
I won't do you no harm.
Yes, you are.
Just let me be the one you love, and when the day is done,
Yeah, superstar. Yes, you are, baby. You're my superstar. Yes, you are, baby. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so Superstar. So I think y'all dig that one. I appreciate it. Superstar. So Eric, yeah, you know so so this is what I consider myself. Some people are like, this is my differentiation. So this is a gospel according to Alvin. So like some people who are like singers. I'm talking about SANGERS, singers. I'm not a singer. Okay. I mean, these people, they just got this crazy killer voice that's just gonna blow the roof off any joint that they are in, right? And oh, nice. And the thing about it is, like, I realized, okay, I'm not a singer. I'm a singer, but I consider myself a vocalist. And to me, I think in my opinion, there's a difference between like a vocalist and a singer. Like, a vocalist is a person who is able to, and I'm not saying one is necessarily better than the other, but this is just my differentiation, right? So to me, like, a singer has a very distinct and powerful voice. And generally that's just the way their voice sounds all the time. They can't really change it. You know, it kind of is what it is, and it works for them, and it's successful for them. And then there are those of us like myself who are vocalists where we're able to change what we do with our voice, right? So I can do a lot of different things with my voice in terms of nuances and stuff like that still sound like me, but I'm able to but I'm able to change it up. And so this album gave me an opportunity more than the albums in the past to, you know, do different stuff with my voice on some of the songs. And so when I was writing Superstar, I don't even know, that voice just kind of came, like I just started kind of experimenting with it during the writing process. And I was like, hey, let me just keep it. I think it kind of works for the vibe. Yeah, you hear a little bit of cameo vibe on the bridge, kind of background vocals. I didn't have a particular person that inspired it, but like the "You're My Superstar Girl, Hoping You Let Me In Your World," that came from, because there's something that I'm playing in the track that's like I call it a dit dat. So a da 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 da. So I'm like, okay, well, what if I play off that and, you know what I'm saying, play off that da 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 da. And I'm like, well, what if I write something to go with that and do like this whole counterpart thing, you know, with a superstar girl, you're my superstar girl, I'm hoping you let me in your world, you know, kind of do this little staccato kind of thing to match that. And it actually worked out being really, really cool. A great counter rhythm up under the other one. So it just happened to work out. Yeah, I would say that's definitely right. Vocalists use their voices like an instrument. I mean, philosophically, people will say, well, your voice is an instrument. But right. And, you know, for me, I was just thinking of it. And I appreciate this. See, Eric's he's an artist and a producer. In case y'all don't know who the great Eric Troy is, this dude is like, you know, people call me Baby Prince. He's Baby Prince. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who I am, but he's Baby Prince. You know, he's that guy. And like I said, this is a session where we listen to the songs. I want y'all to ask these some good questions, man. You know, like let's get into it. That's what we're here for. Let's get into it. You get a chance to actually talk to the artist, talk to the producer, talk to the writer, talk to the engineer, and ask some questions, and we can share some stuff while we listen to these songs. So this is a good thing. This is what I wanted to do, and talk back and forth with y'all. And, you know, if y'all haven't bought the project yet and you're like, thinking about it, come on off that fence, go get it. Like I said, it's cool to stream, but stream doesn't really help us. You know, buying it helps us. So I'm going to encourage you that if you stream it and you like it, buy it. That's my saying with this one. It's like two sayings for this album. Love is like a river. That's for the album, for the beauty of that. And then when we get to the business, if you stream it, you like it, buy it. Okay. Now, of course, no doubt. So let's go on. I think if that's all the questions for Superstar. And the song is for the ladies. Yeah, it's for the grown folk, bro. It's for the ladies. As you could tell, ladies, I wrote this song because, you know, I was raised by a single mom. I saw her hustling. I saw her doing what she got to do. I see my sister doing it. I see so many different women that I know who are not just single moms, but single women, period, out here making moves, you know what I'm saying? Out here, you know, bettering themselves the best way they can, you know, jobs, you know, going, getting education, getting some letters behind their name, you know, working their way up the corporate ladder for the company they work for, you know. What up, Arrow? All right, we got Eric Roberson in the building. Yeah, man. I'm just going over these songs. We're talking it through, man. So, you know, I appreciate that. Looking forward to bringing my brother on very shortly. So, yeah, we're just talking about Superstar Girl and that whole vibe. It's an album, a song for the ladies, man. Like, it's like, ladies, I see you. I see y'all working. I see y'all hustling, doing what you got to do. You know what I mean? I got you. So it's for all women, but especially my black women. All right. So we're going to move on to the next track. Keep this party going. This is Lost in Love. This is the first single off the album.
So lost in your love, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, how you doing? Girl, it's been a while. You're still looking so beautiful that I can't help but smile. So tell me how life's treated you since we've been apart. I guess what I'm trying to say, girl, does someone have your heart? So she knows all about it, man, and she's seeing it, all of their future plans. But I tuned it all out, cause I'm thinking about the love that we share. Cause to me, you're still my girl. All of those late nights and early mornings, we were together and so in love. And I still find myself so lost in the sight of your love. Lost in your love. Lost in love, yeah. So deep that I can't find love. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna be raptured by your love. Lost in your love, lost in love. I can't see love nobody else but you, baby. No one else but you. There's something about the way you say, the way you said his name, baby. Heard it in your voice, girl. That's when give it away. Are you really happy? You've gotta tell me the truth. Cause ain't no sense in lying, lady. Because I know you. So you can deny all that you want, but your eyes are telling me it's something you want. And you know it's not the one. If he was, you wouldn't be here with me. Oh no, I can tell that you feel the same way I do. Cause the fire's still between me and you. And I still remember how it feels to be lost inside of your love. Lost in your love. So lost inside of you, baby. I can't find
That joint's sweet, man.
Appreciate it. What up, Arrow? Good to see you, brother.
Man, I'm good. Look at you, high tech. Got the mic. It's music sound all good. I need a tutorial, man.
It, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying to hold it down, man. Trying to hold it down, this bad boy.
Man, that's a beautiful song, man.
Oh, man. Trying to make sure I get this audio and stuff good. Hold on 1 second.
You straight?
Cool. Yeah, man. So I appreciate you coming on, man. We got a little bit behind. We was rocking out in the first set with the little DJ set I did. Then, you know, the Instagram police came.
Of course.
And, you know, how they do, boo this off, well, let me be great, you know. So
we all know it so well.
Yeah, you already know, man. So, yeah, we are out here, man, talking about the music, man. I appreciate everybody coming on. We Lost in Love. That was the first single from this album. And, you know, what I'm doing is just kind of, you know, I learned this stuff from you, man. So, you know, just kind of talking with the people about the project and, you know, seeing what their thoughts are on it and all that good stuff like that. And the thing, man, is like, I was sharing this last night with the song, when the single came out for this a few months back, I was kind of, I don't know if you've been here before, where I was like, yo, the song was a great song. I felt good about that, but I was kind of unsure about the mix. Like, it was bumping, all that good stuff like that. It was crisp, but I'm like, this is my engineer hat on. Because when you produce a track and then you engineer it, you know, you kind of have a little bit different insight because you know what everything that went into it. You know what I'm saying? You know, everything that went to the track. So I'm listening, I'm like, man, something, But once you put it out there, you got like, it is what it is. So I said, okay. It was a reason why I called it the single mix, right? I didn't know that when I put it out, because it's labeled as Lost in Love single mix in parentheses, right?
Okay.
So I said, yo, so here's the thing. I said, I'm going to be able to go back in and remix it again for the album. So there's going to be an album mix.
Why is that?
So I did like, you know, the story like with Marvin Gaye and What's Going On. You know, there was like a single mix of What's Going On. If you listen to them, they're slightly different. At the end of What's Going On, he kind of gave like a middle finger to Barry because he did like a false fade where it go out and it come back in real fast and go back out. And that pissed Barry off because that was beyond quality control from Motown. But that was Marvin messing with him. So the album, they got it right, and it's a better mix. It's the same performance, but just a different mix. So I went in on this one and literally took the whole session for Lost in Love apart because I'm like, it's some compression of something in there from another engineer I work with that I couldn't find. And I'm like, that's what I'm hearing is making it was sounding too fat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I said, I don't have no headspace. Even with me adjusting everything, I'm like, something's off. So I go through there, I find where it is, some buried track in there. Cause there's like a lot of tracks. Get it out of there, man, rebuild the whole session back again. And then I got the mix that I want. So the album mix is the way that I envisioned the track sounding from the gate. Yeah. So that's the thing about with the Lost in Love track, man. And we got to talking about this last night, bro, about the subject. And I was telling people like, yo, what would you do? Talking to the ladies, like, what would you do? You get this call from the ex, you know, who says he's in town, he wants to see you. Now, we talking about the brother that's good on paper, you know, the new guy. She's in love with the new management. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And love the new management. And so this guy's good. She ain't got to deal with none of the stuff she had to deal with the old guy. She ain't got to twist his arm. Ain't got to give him no ultimatum. Ain't got to wait for him to find himself, figure it out. None of that. All right? She figured they had to move forward. She had to move forward, you know what I mean, for the simple fact that it was like, all right, I love the guy, but we just not on the same page. It wasn't like a bad fallout. She moves on and finds the dude that's ready, the one who came to her like, when I first saw you, I knew you were my queen. I was ready, blah, blah, blah. You know, he was ready from the gate. So she moves on. Out of sight, out of mind. This brother comes to town. Hey, I just want to see you, cup of coffee, just talk to catch up. Do you go? Do you not go? So the girl in the song obviously goes, like, I'm going to tell him, let him know what he missed out on. She get there.
Don't do it.
She realized she still got strong feelings with this guy. He knows
Yeah,
her better than the guy she with.
And she knew that. Look, she knew that when she went. She knew that. Now, let me tell you, man, one of the realest things I ever heard. One of the realest things I ever heard, man. This is going back years and years ago. I was headed to homecoming. I won't say any names in this case. Anybody might be on here. But I called one of my homegirls, and I said, "Yo, I'm headed down to homecoming. Like, yo, why don't you come to homecoming? Like, I ain't, you know." And she was like, "Nah, I'm with my girl. I was trying to come to homecoming with my homegirl, and she ain't trying to go." I said, "Who was that?" Said my homegirl. I ain't gonna say names. I was like, "Oh my God, what you talking about?" I said, "Yo, I'm coming to get both of y'all. We coming, and we just gonna party out. I got y'all. Look, I'm pulling up." And then she said, "Nah, she ain't trying to go out." So I said, put on the phone. I said, "What you talking about? Why you ain't trying to go to homecoming?" She said, "I'm in a new relationship, and it's going really good." She said, "I can't afford to run into the wrong person." Woo! I said, "What?" I couldn't help but respect. I said, "You know what? You stay there. I'm going to homecoming in." But she said, I can't afford to run into the wrong person. It was one of the realest things I've ever heard somebody say, man.
No, but that's crazy real, man. That's crazy real. Yeah. So yeah, it stirred
what
up
up,
a
Lyric Joe? What up, Lyric Joe? She said, "Homecoming is all I need to hear." Don't do it.
Don't do it, man. Listen, I found out so many women, man, that I had talked to had been in that situation. It was like, yo, I'm living that, or I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I got this good dude, good guy, but as good as he is, great guy. I don't have no complaints with him, but I don't have the same passion and spark I had with the guy before. It gets deep because, you know, and then this guy comes back and he's got himself together. You know, he just wasn't ready. Maybe he have his ducks in a row, whatever the case may be.
He ready today.
He ready today. You know what I'm saying? And he like, "What's happening?" Or, "I just want to see you, just want to talk to you, see how things are going." And you get there and she like, "Yo, like, I still feel a way about this guy." Like, in her heart of hearts, so she can't tell really anybody. It's got to be like that one confidant she could tell, because everybody's like, "Girl, you still thinking about him? You better leave him alone. You got this good guy. He's good. He don't got all the stuff go." It's deep, man. I wrote down with some layers in mind, bro.
No, you did that. You did that with that song, man. You gonna have a couple people searching names in Facebook or something. You don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble.
Right.
They say reminds me of Dylan. Yeah, listen. Why do the bad things always feel so good?
Yeah, man.
Lord,
you know, dealing. You already know. You
Lord
already know.
That's right, Nicole said, "Don't fall for it." That's right.
Don't fall for it.
Run.
So, yeah, man. So that was Lost in Love, man. So we go into this next cut. This next cut off the record is called No Stressin'. So let's see if we can get that popping.
Yeah. So what's it gonna be? Deep conversations, fussing, fighting, girl, I'm trying to watch some TV. Do me a favor, grab your phone, get on the net and let a brother breathe. I promise to get with you in a minute, let me chill and take it easy. Please, baby, believe me, girl, trust we got a good thing. You ain't gotta worry, cause I ain't going nowhere. No, leave a second guessing, loving you's a blessing. Told you I would be right, yeah. No stress, find a million ways to love you. Nothing that I won't do, because my love for you is true. I'm confessed, don't leave a second guessing, loving you's a blessing. Told you I would be right, yeah. Tell me how you really feel. I I drive you up the wall and make you wanna get up out of here. We feel the same way when we ain't leaving. It's like we got a love quarantine. You like that? We can make it if we try. Don't give up, wait and see. Please, baby, believe me. Oh, girl, just we got a good thing. You ain't gotta worry, cause I ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Don't leave a second guessing. Loving you's a blessing. Told you I would be right here. No stress. I didn't know you was to love you. Nothing that I won't do because my love for you is true. I'm confessing. Don't leave a second guessing. Loving you's a blessing. Told you I would be right here. Ain't no use in your stress. Every day that you wake up, you should consider it a blessing. Hey. Another opportunity for you to learn another lesson. Oh, keep your head up to the sky, be mindful of what you confess. Hey, ain't no use in your stressing. Oh, trust we got a good thing. You ain't gotta worry, cause I ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Don't ever second guess. Loving you's a blessing. Told you I would be right here. No stress. I know you ways to love you. Nothing that I won't do because my love for you is true. I'm confessing. Don't ever second guess. Loving you's a blessing. Told you I would be right here. No stressing. No stressing. No, no. No stressing. No stressing.
That joint got that hump on it, Doc.
Yeah, brother.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Woo, that joint got a hump on it.
Wanted to put something, man, kind of make it, just kind of nasty, you know what I'm saying? Because you already got an attitude when the song starts off. You know what I'm saying? And so I kind of wanted to have that little hump with the stank guitar on the side, you know what I'm saying?
That joint musty. That's nice, man.
Thanks, man.
That's nice.
Yeah. That came about during the quarantine, man. You know what I'm saying? Brothers on lockdown. It was like, yo, like I was telling last night, like you found out how much you really liked your partner during that time. You know what I'm saying? For real, I appreciate the love out there, y'all. You found out, like a lot of relationships that make it, man. If you made it through the quarantine, y'all got a real love thing. You know what I'm saying? You got a real love thing. You got a real solid relationship if you got through quarantine. A lot of people went in a relationship and then, came out single on the other end of when we was off the lockdown. It was single after that because it didn't work out. They didn't like their partner as much. They didn't like being around them that much. So No Stressin was like that reassurance tune, like, yo, you are getting on my nerves, but I love you. I'm here. It's all good. Don't worry. I ain't going nowhere. Just give a brother a minute. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me go sit in the closet for a little bit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Give a brother a break. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We got my man Eric Roberson rocking out with me tonight. Yeah, man, it's all good. Coming out from the West Coast, I appreciate, man. So out there, so you still East Coast tired, but you on that West Coast though. You know what I'm saying right now.
I got that jet lag. Because if I start talking crazy, start talking about Wu-Tang or something like that, you're like, oh, don't mind him right now.
Yeah, he just slap happy as they call it. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all tuning in for this virtual listening session, y'all, for my new album, River. That's available. Some of you are like, who is that guy? Alvin. Frazier is my name. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. The Alvin Frazier. Appreciate y'all tuning in. You can get it on Amazon Music. You can get it at alvinfraziermusic.com. And we just sitting there vibing, listening to it, talking about it. And we just open for questions. So if y'all got questions about the tunes, you know what I'm saying, about what it's about, the vibe, whatever, it's wide open. We just chatting about it. And we getting down to it, and we're going to be coming up on a song soon that my man Gyrl and I did together. So about a couple of songs away, y'all. So stick and stay. We about to keep this thing going. E is was that track direct, that last one, or was it speaker?
It felt good to me. No, it was direct.
Okay.
The young lady Nicole asked you to turn up. I think you did turn up. Nicole,
Okay.
if it needs to be up more, let her know. But I think it's sounded great.
Okay.
All About said you did an incredible job on the album.
Thank you.
Proud.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Brother worked hard, man. I mean, you know, I haven't gotten my mojo up like you know, because you keep an album out,
Man.
you keep them ready, you know, within a year and a half or less. So I'm like, well, Eric is like 14, 15, 16 albums, and I got quite a ways to go. That's why I say.
hey, somebody named Eric asked, did you engineer the album?
I did. Engineer it.
My question to you, and you kind of touched on it before, but how is it wearing multiple hats? How is it being the writer, the producer, the engineer? How do you keep it all balanced, or is it a bit more of a wrestling match? Does it take longer because you have to balance so many things?
I think so, man. I think it took longer. I mean, over time, I learned how to balance it over the years. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, where you have to listen to it like the artist, listen to it like the producer, listen to it like the engineer, and then listen to it like the consumer. People are like, how you can do that? I say it came from years of me getting myself to that point, because I'm like, I have to hear it like a consumer. You know, when we've been doing this for a while, you're always excited to create new music, but you're not like, oh God, I just made a song. You've been doing this for a minute. You know what I mean? So you can kind of sit back and say, okay, if this song was by somebody else, what am I listening for? What's working? What's not working? And one thing I try to always remember when I talk to other guys that produce, man, or write, I say, you know, the one obligation that we have in all of this is to make sure that we remember that we are lovers of music first before we became makers of music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like if we stay true to remembering what we loved about music, when we get into a position where we can start creating it and making it, then we're going to be okay, because we're going to be able to stay in tune with ourselves as far as that inner truth, and also in tune with those who rock with our music, those who are like music lovers, like music fans of music. So I realized for me, that was kind of where my yardstick was, to kind of measure what's what, like remember the things about, without being formulaic, but just remembering the little nuances in music that I'm like, yeah, I remember how that felt when the keyboard did that, or when the bass did that, or the guitar did that, or the singer did that. And so having that perspective really, really helped me, man, to be able to separate it. I always tell people, don't try this at home, because it is a lot of work doing it from start to finish. And it wasn't me trying to be this wonder. It just kind of ended up being a situation where I was just learning each of the skills, man, taking time to study, put them all together. And then fortunately enough for me, I was good enough at everything, because that's my other thing, Errol, was for us to be good enough at what we do that nobody's not listening to it and saying, oh, he should have had somebody else play keyboards. Should have somebody else play bass on that. So I'm like, no, I know my integrity. I ain't having that. You won't know I played unless I tell you, because it's going to be a solid performance. I can play, I can sing, you know, I can write. So that was my thing, because anytime you're like, yeah, I can tell he played keyboards. You know, it's like, that ain't what you want unless they know you good at playing keyboards. They know your playing style. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah. And I don't know if you remember this. One of the first questions I asked you when I met you, we met at the International Soul Music Summit back in 2009. One of the first questions I asked you when I got you off away from the crowd, I was like, yo, man, tell me, how do you navigate wearing different hats? So it's funny, we get full circle here. You asked me this here in 2021. I asked you in 2009, that September, that same question about how do you manage that? That was the first thing I ever asked you.
And Lord knows I have no idea what my answer's probably different now, because I probably had to manage more things. But yes, so interesting enough, you do have first of all, the questions are they're rocking in with some questions.
Okay.
But I was going to say, the only reason I'm not going to answer is it leads into one of the next questions, which of course now I can't find. But someone said, well, first off, one person, if I go in order, said, how do you feel being an independent artist? and they kind of asked it both of us, but I'll let you answer that.
Okay.
Okay, good question to you both. How do you like being independent music artists? And then I'll ask the question that
Okay.
Eric said that kind of matches in what we were talking about. But let the world know how you feel about being an independent music artist.
What I like about being an independent music artist, I know this seems like I'm being facetious. I'm not, because when I became aware of who you were, I didn't know a whole lot about independent, being an independent recording artist for real, you know what I'm saying? So when I got hip to you, when somebody turned me on to you and I started checking you out and researching, I'm like, man, this dude is doing it. That kind of gave me the inspiration to say, okay, maybe this is a road I might want to travel. And plus, I just didn't want anybody telling me how to create music. Like you need to do songs like this, you need to do this like that. And I know, I've sat in meetings with people, man, who says, well, based on this or this, you could be the next Babyface. I'm like, I don't want to be the next Babyface. I love Babyface, got mad respect for him. I'm influenced by him because I'm a songwriter and a musician, but I'm like, I'm trying to be the first Alvin Frazier. I don't want to be the next Babyface, And so I realized then, I said, man, the only way you're going to really be able to make music that is true to what you're about is you're going to have to go the independent route, man, and I like just having the control of everything, whatever that looks like, trial and error, you know what I mean? Whether I win or lose, I'm always believing and betting on myself, whatever that looks like, you know what I'm saying? And so you just taking those risks and seeing what happens, man. So for me as an independent artist, I just love, in a sense, being my own boss and having and kind of being the captain of my own destiny, if you will. You know what I'm saying? As far as within this realm, God first, but in terms of what we're doing beneath him, controlling my own destiny. So what's your thoughts on that, bro?
I mean, it comes right down to the same thing. I mean, first, we come from a day where we realized there was a point where independent music wasn't really an option. And if it didn't work, it was over. There weren't other outlets for you to kind of live out your dream. For me, it really comes down to, how I see success. My view of success is different than others, as well as yours. It's like you have to find out what your view of success is. And I think that level of control of creativity, like I wouldn't want somebody, the blessing when I look back at my body of work is I was able to write a lot of songs that labels would not have let me write if I was signed to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's, so creativity has always been the foundation of how I see success. Yeah, I mean, and that's that, but of course, all of it, whether you're signed to a major sign or you're independent, it takes a lot of work. I salute everybody who's rocking the music business. It takes a lot of work, but yeah, I'm not trying to make an album where I got to appease the entire building before I get it to the people.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, but so you got people rocking it here.
Okay.
Darvin asked, hold on, I gotta scroll back up.
Okay.
How do you keep pretty much was asking like, oh, how do you refresh when you're not feeling it?
Man, you gotta. That's a good question, because when I did this album, like, okay, so some of y'all are kind of new to getting hip to me. So I had two albums before this one, Love and Faith Volume 1 and Love and Faith Volume 2, A Wonderful Love. And those albums are kind of pretty much self-explanatory. They were albums that talked about love and romance, but also tied in the faith element to it. And so I thought I was going to do a third project, like a Love and Faith 3, something along those lines. And when I was working on the songs, man, I'm like, I'm just not feeling that right now. You know what I mean? I was trying. The last album did pretty good. And so now you're saying, okay, you want to try to ride that wave of what the last album did, right? So I'm going and sitting down and working on music and kind of like dancing with a little bit of the vibe of the last album. And I'm like, yo, it just ain't happening. Like, it's not happening. I'm like, I don't even want to go that route. Like, man, I want to go back to like my roots. My roots are always been R&B soul. So I was ready to do an album that was more centered around like love exclusively and relationships on that tip. And so I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to do an album like the last one, not even musically. I'm trying to move away from it. So I had to literally say, let me take a different approach to how I create music as a producer, man. Like, okay, well, maybe I might normally sit down and play keys. So you're doing these chords and stuff like that and seeing something pop. I'm like, no, well, just not do that. How about just using a couple of fingers and just kind of come up with a little diddle, 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 you know what I'm saying? And build around that. You know, you've been producing 30 years. You can create something, you know, around a little bit of nothing. You know, the more advanced we become, we start adding all this extra stuff in. And sometimes you got to strip all that back and say, it's good you can do that now. It's great that you got to that point. But sometimes, like, put all that to the side, just get back to basics. And I just started really working out real simplistic ideas on some of these songs. Gone Girl, case in point. And it ends up becoming this track like I had never done before. So that was what it was for me, was like totally putting aside my approach to how I go about doing music and kind of move into it. It felt a bit uncomfortable. And I'm like, just go simple. It's okay. Trust your instinct. You're a music lover first. So it's going to come through no matter what, even if it's just simple stuff you're building with. The building blocks are less. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start to come up with something. And that was kind of where the refresh happened, man. It got it flowing, where I was like, okay, cool. I'm back in the game. You know, I felt like I got some good stuff and some different stuff, you know, than I did the other time around.
So first of all, one of my problems was I had to get the snacks out because I got up. I was actually getting up to get my charger. Honda, thank you very much. You know, but too bad I don't have no. If I had some snacks here, I might really be munching on something. There's a brother in here. He asked me a question. I want to. I said, let me answer this for this one, and then I'll say jump on another song. Brother D.L. Jones, and it just moved. Eric, how can I get to work with you? I came up with Jay Dilla and Slumber. First of all, shout out to you. And just the history that you've been around. That's amazing. I would have loved to have been able to soak all that up. Man, I mean, really, man, to work really it's real easy, man. A lot of it just comes up with time and vibe, really. You know what I mean? I'm constantly working with just who really is in front of me or wherever I'm at to catch up with. But what I'll tell you also, man, it's not even a plug. You see it. I mean, you hear us mention it. I have a group called The Process. If you're interested, go to jointheprocess.com. We do a weekly
please
podcast.
Go and join that. It's dope.
And really, I more say that to say that and I've seen your pictures, so I want to say I've been on your page. If I don't follow you, I've heard your music. I can't recall it this very moment right now, but I'll say is that one, just you know, first of all, keep rocking. Don't even worry about me. Keep rocking and knock out the park. And I'm sure our paths will cross. And we'll get it popping. I mean, I won't tell you how long we've known each other, and we finally got on a song. I got brothers like Tall Black Guy, great friend. I love everything he ever does, and it took the playlist retreat for us really to get together and like really work. Just more because he's constantly working, I'm constantly working. We finally got in the same room. Was like, let's work, you know. So one thing I think let's first say let's name and claim it's going to happen. I look forward to jamming out to some of your stuff. But yeah, I mean the main part is like shoot your shot on what you're building, and when our paths cross, I'm sure we gonna hit that record button. You know.
Nice.
All right, bro. So what you jamming? Generic Rain. Shout out to HU in the building. Howard University. Know, fine arts department in the building.
Nice.
What song you rock with next, brother?
Okay, so we're getting ready to go on. That was No Stressin. Now we going to the title track of the album. This album is called River, y'all. And like I said, you can find it. Alvin Frazier, you can find it on Amazon Music. I'm trying to get my stats up, so definitely go over there and check it out. Get it on Amazon Music. Eric, I've been telling everybody, man, on my platform, it's like, as much as we appreciate and love the stream, my statement has been like, if you stream it, you like it, buy it. You know, because a lot of people don't know that we literally get like a fraction of a penny per stream. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people stream with good intentions thinking, oh, I stream it. So they thought like we might have been getting like 99 cents a stream. In a perfect world, yeah. I'm like, yo, but we don't. So I just been telling people like definitely go and stream it because you know what I'm saying, that's all good. But if you find you digging it, show us some love and go and pick it up, buy
Right.
it, So I'm like, go to
and technically, we really break down the fraction. It's like 0.0046.
yeah, I'm being generous saying a fraction. Right. I'm just being nice, not to try to make it sound so bad. But yeah, a lot of people were shocked. Like, I didn't know that was what they were paying you guys. I'm thinking I'm streaming it, so it's all good. I'm like, no, the stream, it has its weight because, again, we're talking about stats. With reason why I'm saying go over to get it at Amazon Music or wherever you buy music. But I know Amazon is all about trying to rank in their algorithms over there. But also go to Alvin Frazier Music and get it. If you go there too, either one is good, but you can find it everywhere. But you get a bonus track if you get it over at Alvin Frazier Music, just to put that out there. alvinfraziermusic.com. The album is called River. This is the title track, River, so let's check it out.
I'm gonna love you like a river, wider than you've ever known, and deeper than you've ever felt.
As the sun begins to rise, I look over into your eyes, and I'm thinking it's amazing that you're my lady. And I know that I've been blessed. God has given me the best love that I've ever known before. And just like the stars up in heaven above, nothing can equate to this love. Baby, it's you and me together forever. If you only knew just how much you do to me with just one touch, you'll understand what I'm about to say. I'm gonna love you like a river. That's the way that it flows. Way that it flows. Lose all control. I just want you to know love flows like a river. Yeah. So wild and so free. So wild and so free. So wide and so deep. So wild and so deep. Just like the moon lights up the night sky, it should come as no surprise. Lady, your heart is where I wanna stay. Hey, you really wasn't one of my plan. I was happy as a single man, but it seems as if fate has had its way. All day, you came into my whole world around. I'm so happy about this love we found. You make me smile like I'm floating on a cloud. And because of you, my life will never be the same. Girl, I'm drawn like I'm walking to a flame. I pray that you understand what I'm about to say. I'm gonna love you like a river. The way that it flows, lose all control. Love flows like a river. So wild and so free. So wild and so free. So wide and so deep. Listen, I love you in so many different ways. You think you never love me before. I'm always gonna hold you down so you don't have to. So let me be the one who needs you. I'm hoping you can clearly see that my love flows just like a river. Yeah, that's the way that it flows. Way that it flows. Lose all control. My love flows like a river. Yeah. So wild and so free. So wild and so free. So wide and so deep. Love flows like a river. It's the way that it flows. Just lose all control. 'Cause my love flows like a river. Yeah. So wild and so free. So wild and so free. So wide and so deep. My love flows like a river. like a river. My love flows like a river. Yeah. Like a river. My love flows like a river. Like a river. My love flows like a river.
Hey, you know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, man. So that's River, bro.
Yeah. We know the inspiration behind that one.
Right.
Yeah. Or some of the process men would say, "Bring on the milk."
Right.
Flow just
Exactly.
like a river. Yeah. Look, I would talk about a few rivers, but I'm gonna be quiet. That's great, man. Great song.
I appreciate it,
Somebody,
man.
I don't know the name because the joint is moving.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, where do you draw your inspiration in your writing?
Whew, man, it's always a little bit of life experience, of course, and like with that particular track. The funny thing about that, man, I had never written a song that had so many metaphors in it like that, and that made me a little hesitant. I almost, because it wasn't the title track for the album at the time when I wrote it, I almost didn't use it because I'm like, oh man, it's too many metaphors. It's too cliche, I thought. And I try to avoid that as a songwriter. And so I played it for a couple of people like, are you crazy? This song is amazing. What are you talking
People
about?
love metaphors. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, really, really wrestling with that. But after I let a few people hear and everybody looking at me like I was crazy, I said, okay, let me listen to it as a consumer now. Let me get out of my head as the producer or as a songwriter being, the stickler songwriter. Let me listen. And I'm like, man, it really is a beautiful song. And I was singing from my heart. So I was like, yo, man, you think about like love. And that's how I came to naming the album River, because I'm like, man, like a river, man, love can be wild. It can be free. It can be wide. It can be deep. It can be smooth. It can be choppy, man. But one thing it's always doing is always flowing.
Yeah.
It's always flowing, man.
Or it turns to a lake.
Or turns into a lake. Yeah. And and I was like, man, I say, yo, love is like a river. And that kind of really helped me to set up the concept of the album. And so as I began to tell all these different love type stories throughout the record, River is like the song that kind of sums all of that up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's River, man. Excuse me, I'm up here burping now. Let's go to the next track,
sexy.
man.
Talk about river and just start burping. That's how it works, man.
Yeah, the burp flows.
Like
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, keep it sexy. You know what I mean? Like a river. Burp like a river.
Burp like a river, bro.
Right. So we're gonna go to this next track, brother. This is called Something About You. And I'm trying to keep mindful, man, because like I think the way my module is set up, like I'm plugging in so I can hear you when we talk, and then I'm trying to see was that track direct too, or was it off my phone speaker? Could you tell?
It wasn't as loud as the other one before when you made the adjustment.
Okay, so that's what I got to do is adjust this one too. So okay, hold on, I'm gonna get it together. Because I think whenever I plug this in to hear you, it cancels out my direct feed for a second. Yeah. So I'm running through my iRig. So hold on one second. Matter of fact, let me make the switch right now.
Why you gotta be so cold? Acting like your heart is made of stone. I take it you just don't believe in love no more. No, listen. I would never do you that way. The game of love is the only one that I would play. I'm placing all bets on you, so tell me what you gon' do. I need to know. Something about the way you walk, something about the way you talk, something about the way you smile, it always drives me wild. Something about the way you stare, the pretty way you wear your hair, the other girl can compare. I got to have you, I don't care. I would never lie to you. That is something I won't ever do. 'Cause I'm the one who's trying to win your heart. Yeah. Back when we first started out, I told you what I was all about. Made some mistakes back in my past, looking for a love that's gonna last. And I say you are the one. Something about the way you walk, something about the way you talk, something about the way you smile, it always drives me wild. Something about the way you stare, the pretty way you wear your hair, the other girl can compare. I got to have it, I don't care. I know you've heard this all before, and your love life has been like a revolving door. When one relationship ends, that's when the next one begins. All gas, no brakes, slow down. Let me be the one who can show you all the things that you've been missing with those other dudes. I'm just asking you for a chance so I can show you that I'm the man who can love you the right way. Something about the way you walk, something about the way you talk, something about the way you smile, it always drives me wild. Something about the way you stare, the pretty way you wear your hair, the other girl can compare. I got to have you, I don't care. I never felt this way about another woman before. When I first saw you, I knew I had to make you mine. Let's go. You, there was something about you, yeah. There was something about you. Something about the way you walk, something about the way you talk, something about the way you smile, it always drives me wild. Something about the way you stare, the pretty way you wear your hair, the other girl can compare. I got to have you, I don't care. Something about the way you walk, something about the way you talk, something about the way you smile, it always drives me wild.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that was had to have that up tempo cut on there.
No, that don't feel good, man. You know, some ups are always important, man. My
Yeah.
private people will tell you, it's always important to kind of push that tempo a little bit. That joint definitely feel good. That's some danceable joint right there, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man. You know, if you like me, man, I tend to like stay in mid-tempo land, ballad mid-tempo land,
I
but
get it.
I like a good fast cut, man, but I have to really, really kind of get myself in that frame, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I need something fast. And when I was working on that track, I'm like, I need something that feels good, keep it simple, but get that vibe up. I had never done a track like that was so pop oriented, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Generally I'm an R&B soul dude, but I didn't even realize I had, that pop bag in there, kind of just going through. That's the cool thing about producing, man. I'm going through and come across the right drums for something. I'm like, hey, this drum sound kind
Yeah.
of cool,
Yeah. Oh my God. You're going through snares. Also, you hear pat,
Right.
And that shit, you know, you about to go to bed. You hear that pat.
Bam.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. 5 hours later, you got a whole dance going
A
on.
whole
No,
track,
I get it,
man.
man.
I was
Get it.
working on a mid tempo or a slow cut when I came across that. I was like literally
Get it.
working on something slow. Took a break. Was like, man, I need to chill for a minute. And I just got just messing around on the drum machine, like, tip, tip. I'm like, hey.
Hey.
And that track came in between me working on like a ballad or something, you know what I mean, for the album. I'm like, all
That's the
right.
best songs.
Yeah, man. So
That's the best
that one
songs when you
came out
stumble.
cool.
Hey,
So that was
I gotta give a quick shout out. I saw, oh man, first of all, I see Crate Dealer's Soul Bouncing here. You
cool.
got the beautiful community, but I saw. Wait, can I go to it? So Cree 2. I was in a pageant. Guys, don't hate. I was in a pageant called Mr. and Miss Black Teenage World Pageant, and I won in 1990. Was it 1990? But Cree was in as well. So congratulations to you on all the success. She was there in North
Nice.
Carolina back in 1990. You're a dope person and singer. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Cree, and it is good to see you on here. And yeah, it was some fun time. Cree, if you get a chance, tell me what state were you representing during the one? And were we in the same competition, or was that the year that I gave up my title? I'm trying to remember. Did I win in '89 or did I win in '90? I can't remember. All right, but it ain't about me, hey man. It's about brother Alvin. But I just thought I had to kind of acknowledge
Dog.
that's going back, man. That's high school, man. That's really dope.
I didn't know,
That's
man.
really
That
dope.
sounds real important, brother. You know, very
Well,
important.
you know, my football friends and all that stuff that they try to clown me. Oh, you going to a pageant? You got a swimsuit? Like this? You got to do a swimsuit? You know, they were trying
Right.
to clown. But when I came home with that scholarship,
There it
holla
is.
back.
Yeah, you're saying, you know what I mean? Laugh all you
Oh
want, laugh now.
yeah, laugh now. But it was a blessing, man. So yeah, you
Nice,
got some people.
man.
Nicole said this song surely makes me dance.
Mm,
Mama, was it Mama Faye? Hold on, I got fat fingers. Marlo Faye did the roller skate emoji.
nice.
I definitely. So yeah, you get some good love. You getting some good love from the joint. So yeah, man.
I
I see,
appreciate
man.
that.
Zenzi, Troy. I got shout out to my process people. We up in here right now. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
what's up, process people? Yeah,
They
yeah,
they behaving themselves because they usually, you know. I mean,
yeah.
y'all
They're like,
better,
we don't
y'all.
know this Alvin guy, so we don't want to put ourselves out there like that. If it was just
Y'all
Eric, we'd
just
be going ham. We'd be going ham sandwich if
listen.
it was just Eric.
Tell me what you really thought about River, huh?
Well, like
Huh?
I said, it's an open. I mean, we conversate. We talking about. Don't feel shy with me. I know y'all know Arrow. Don't feel shy. It's all good. You know what I mean. We here to talk about it. You know what I mean, and get into it a little bit. So it's all good. I appreciate y'all tuning in. You know, and rocking with me. For those of you who don't know me, you know, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alvin Frazier. I thank y'all for coming through and hanging out with me and my man Errol. I appreciate you, brother, for coming on with me and bringing these people in the room
Indeed,
along with my people. Shout out to all my people out there who rocking with me as well.
indeed.
So it's all good. So we just listened to something about you, y'all. We getting through this. Now we're at Gone Girl. Gone
Hey,
Girl. Yeah. So Gone Girl. So this is Tricia. Y'all I know the process. People like, oh man, you got Eric, I know the song good. You know, Lessons is killing. I know everybody on here knows about Lessons, an amazing song. I
I
checked that
appreciate
out
it,
doing the process of it and seeing what it's doing now, man. Like, brother, hats off. Like real talk, hats off, man.
man. I appreciate it.
Because you always been like that measuring stick, again, to use that analogy of when I look at independent artists that's out here rocking and doing it, man, you always, you know, have been someone that I look up to, and that hasn't changed. So I appreciate that. And
Well, I
seeing you
appreciate you, man.
rise, man, and succeed, man, it feels like a rise for all of us, man. So I appreciate that. We getting ready to rock out Gone Girl, y'all. So check out Gone Girl with myself featuring the man himself.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, Arrow. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Out and in.
Let's go. Let's go. Gone, gone. Hey, hey. Gone, gone. Yeah, yeah. Gone, girl. Check it out. There was something about the way that she looked at me that gave me indication that something was wrong. She was sitting there with this blanket stare. You would think I was someone she didn't even know. So now I'm all confused and I don't know what to do. I grabbed my coat, I guess I head for the door. She said, please don't go. I said, I gotta go, cause I don't know just who you are anymore. I figured that we need some time away to get our heads together. Maybe later try this again, but until then we can't be friends based on the circumstances. I thought that she would understand, and now it's in a bit of rage. The whole room was rearranged, and I'm looking like, what in the world happened to my girl? It's like she disappears within the night. Gone, she's a gone girl. I don't really know. She will be when she wakes up and see it gone. She's a gone girl. It's like loving a stranger. Every moment's danger. It's steady when she's away. Guess I choose to love her. Waiting to discuss her. What we had is gone. She said, it's like loving a stranger. Every moment's danger. It's steady pushing me away.
See, I'm not the type to run around. The first time I see trouble, made my mind up that I should stick around to see what it's all about. Let her know that I'm down. Maybe I discover something so profound. Oh no. The next morning when she got up, she looked at me and smiled, acting like nothing happened at all. Leaned over, gave me a kiss. I'm like, which girl is this? In the back of my mind, I was reminiscing of all the time I thought that she was PMS, and now I'm stressing, thinking, how did I ignore all the signs? My love for her had me blind. Started out so sublime. Now I'm caught up in all these love crimes. Yeah, it's so hard for me to walk away, knowing the girl she was when I first met her. She was out of this world. But what happened to my girl? It's like she disappears within the night. A gone
She's a gone
girl. I don't even know who she will be when she wakes up to see another. She said, it's like loving a stranger. Every day is danger. Is that even give me away? Guess I truly love her. Waiting to discover what we had. She said, it's like loving a stranger. Every day is danger. Is that even give me away? I don't even know who she will be when she wakes up to see another. She said, it's like loving a stranger. Every moment's danger. It's steady pushing me away. I guess I truly love her. Waiting to discover what we had to have. She said, it's like loving a stranger. Every moment's danger. It's steady pushing me away. Why you so gone, baby? It's steady pushing me away. Oh, baby. Oh, it's steady pushing me away. Oh, gone, so gone. It's steady pushing me away. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's steady pushing me away. I don't know, babe, who next time you gonna be.
sometimes you're hot, baby, then you're cold, lady. This love is driving me so crazy.
I love you so, fighting through the seasons.
That boy good.
Yeah, man. That track, man, that song, like, bro, I appreciate you, jumping on that with me, man.
Nah, no problem, man.
It's fire. It's a fire track. I appreciate the love out there. Thank y'all for y'all comments out there. I can't read them all like Eric can, but I'm like, yo, man.
Yo, I just remember when you first sent it to me, and when it had that little turn, I was like, oh man, that joint just, it was right, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was right, you know. And I speak for a lot of people, I'm always searching for, when I listen to the radio, when I'm going through people's CDs, I'm always listening for that song I wish I wrote. You know what I'm saying? And this song is like, it's that kind of song, man. You're like,
oh wow, man.
So man,
That's
it's
an
just
honor, bro.
congratulations. It's a beautiful. I mean, the record as a whole, man, is just a beautiful album.
Thank you, bro.
And it really shows like the array of your talents as well, man. So
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that. I remember when I got it to you the first time. That's like 6 years ago, probably.
Was it 6 years ago? My God.
6 years ago when I got it to you. Yeah, because that was why when we finally got to the point where I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna see if Eric can come on it. And I'm like, I gotta refresh it because the track before was cool, like the basic structure was there. But I'm like, yo, I remember like literally after you sent me your vocal and I was mixing it, I'm like sitting in my studio like, yo, that was cool back in 2015. But I gotta do something. I gotta push it up another notch, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of like remix it a little bit and then send it back to him. And I remember when I played it for the first time in my car and played it for a couple people, they just was like, oh shoot, like this song right here is about to be over because I haven't heard him on a track like that or you. That was my thing. I'm like, if I'm gonna call my boy and say, hey man, do a track, I wanted to be something that is different that for both of us, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so when I wrote the track and I was like, I'm writing about a girl that's basically like bipolar, you know what I mean? She's got some things going on and the challenges of, being in love or loving a woman that's kind of going through those things like, yo, it's stressful. She's a gone girl, she's one person 1 minute, one person the next. And your first mind is like, get out of here. But the part, but the other part, you love her, so you want to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Well, by the time I hit the door, the other one came back. I was about to leave, but you came back. All right, I'll stay.
Right. I was gone, coat in my hand, bags in my hand, and then the other girl, I'm like, oh, okay, you back.
Okay, back. All right,
I'll stay. Love is a crazy thing, man.
Crazy thing.
And I appreciate that, man, because you being an accomplished songwriter, I know in my mind, I said, it's going to be challenging. I said, that's my boy and all, but Eric is an accomplished writer. He don't need nobody to give him a song with lyrics. Just give him the track. He'll take it from there. So I already know.
But I'm going to tell you something really funny, man. It's kind of like, I remember Janet Jackson said, not dare I compare myself to Janet Jackson. She said, like, a long time ago, interview asked like about like going to the club dancing. She said, I don't really like go to the club dancing because nobody dances with me. Like everybody wants to watch me dance. I just want somebody to walk up and like dance with me. And it's like, man, I really like when and what I'll tell you is that I love to write, but I also love to. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm an actor, and I think that's what singers are. You know what I mean? Songs are nothing but scripts. I like to write scripts. But at the same time, if somebody gives me a compelling script, I'm more than happy to jump on that, take that script. You know what I mean? So pause. But and I know my boy Jermaine Mobley, he's like
he's
always
dope.
right. He's always like even from college, he was sending me like songs and sing and stuff like that. And it was never like, man, come on, man. No, it's just I'm down to do it. A lot of times, you just got to make sure that it's like. You just gotta make sure you're in a clear mental space to be able to take on. Like if I'm trying to formulate a plan of something else, it might be a little tough. But technically, I love singing other people's songs. I love taking on different characters, especially when it pulls. and you know this, like, yo, your pen been moving for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's very you want to find the songs that you wish you wrote, but the
Yeah.
other part is
Yeah.
like, yo, man, I want to hear a song that I didn't write.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Most, I mean,
No, that's real.
Whether we released it or not, I got a piece of paper laying around my house with that song on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we wrenched our brains out, you know, on every subject we could possibly think of.
Yeah.
So I like when you get a song with somebody talking about something, you're like, oh, I never thought about that angle. Got it. I'm definitely down to sing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, this song has several things. Like I said, the melody alone is like a winner for me, because that turn, nobody expects it. And it just feels good. So that
right, and go up.
When it was my turn to cut, I was so happy to do that part. I was like a kid in the candy store. Would it be? Yeah, it's a nice song, man.
It's dope, man. And you laid it, man. You laid it. And I was like, it's gonna freak people out, because we singing in two different keys. The verse is going from one key to another key. And we're descending on the first part, and then we're going up on the next key. It's crazy. I'm like,
bipolar.
Bipolar. I said I needed something that sounded kind of, you know, man, like
we call that prosody. The relationship between the words and the music.
Exactly.
The music is actually going to do the music is going to actually do exactly what the words are doing.
Yes.
You know, so when we sing high, the music goes high.
Come on, man.
We're saying, yo, she changing up like the wind.
Yeah.
The music got to change up like the wind. The music got to go to different keys and different sections and stuff like that. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the word,
man.
for the day. That's for all y'all students. Look up the word prosody.
Prosody.
That's the word of the day.
Prosody is the word of the day. I just learned something new myself. I just went to school. Okay, I went to school. Man, yeah, that was dope. So that was Gyrl featuring me and my brother Eric Roberson. That is available on the River album, available everywhere great music is sold. Get it on Amazon Music. Working on those stats. Get that album at fraziermusic.com and all other spots where you get your music from. Is all good. Like I said, if you stream and you like it, make sure you buy it. That's the word. That's the second word for the day, Arrow, that we got from.
Come on now. Preach.
Okay. So we're going to get into this next jam. I appreciate all y'all showing love out there for the song. Did they have any questions on there by any chance, Arrow? You see any questions before we move on?
It's not moving. I would feel like something's wrong, because the last thing I see is snap on that verse, which was written a long time ago.
Okay.
Is a way to refresh, because I know people were writing too much, so I feel like it got froze up. Okay,
because I see people moving on this end pretty much. Like I just
my I don't know if you know, during the song I got like kicked out, so I had to come back in. I don't know.
Word. Okay.
So I think mine is froze.
Okay.
Let me try to put a comment and see if that will do something. Hey, let's see. No, that didn't do anything. Great. Yeah, you might have to take over the reading part, Doc. Mine is broke.
Okay, no, that's all good, man. I'm just trying to say, keep up with the people up in this bad boy. Let me see something. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, Beth, so we're gonna go ahead and go to this next track, bro. This is called In the Meantime. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
In the meantime, in between time.
Someone, the world doesn't look quite the same, and in your heart like an eternal flame. There are times when your mind can't conceive all the wonders of love life can bring. In the meantime, till I find girl who can set me free, and then I'll know what they're saying. Oh, has more than just make believe. There they go, two lovers holding hands blissfully. Wonder, do they know what's away?